ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Wednesday, October 30th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Glad to be here with you. We're going to get your text in this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It is a week of winning, of course. We're giving you a chance to win tickets today to go see the Herd on Saturday, take on ULM. All right, today we got a three-pack. And the reason why we have these odd numbers, yesterday we had a 4-pack, we had a 5-pack the other day. The reason we've got these odd numbers is because, well, these are the seats that are together. So we're going to keep you all together. You and your friends or your family, you're all going to sit together. So, the text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Again, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter wrote in just a few minutes ago. One yesterday, texter said, Paul, just letting you know, I went down today and got my tickets for the game Saturday. I looked at the seating chart to see where I would be sitting and found out they are great seats. So thank you again. Appreciate that. Thanks for checking in. I'm glad you won. Also, from the text line today, and before I read this one, let me preface this. We've got Ryan Chris coming up a little bit later on. Ryan, of course, handles a lot of the marketing, a lot of fan engagement for Marshall University. So we got a few things that we're going to talk to him about. Senior Day is coming up, of course. We've also got the basketball promo schedule coming out, so we're going to talk about a few of these things. And we got a text question today, so we're going to make it a little interesting for you. And I really want some feedback on this one. Nothing necessarily silly. This is really, I want some solid feedback on this because this is the kind of feedback that we're asking for today. So, what upgrades do you want most at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? I mean, that's our text question, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So, what upgrades would you like to see most at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? And, of course, I'm going to scream bathroom. That's number one on my list, bathrooms. At the stadium, you got to make sure that the fans have a good experience. I think bathrooms, that's the number one for me. So I want to hear from you. What are some of the things that you would like to see happen at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? What kind of upgrades should Marshall focus on? And bathrooms, of course, is one of them. But give me more than just that. And again, we're going to give you an opportunity to win a 3-pack of tickets to go see the Herd take on ULM this Saturday. So get those texts in now. Ryan Chris comes up a little bit later on. Texter says, Paul, upgrades I would like to see at Joan are end zone suites and party deck. They need to replace all the dark green lettering and helmets off the press box and replace it with Kelly green. Finally, please update the restrooms. That's a good start. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Let's talk about that. So, branding is important, and I understand that it's been hard over the years. And we even at one point had this shift from the Kelly green. We went to like this hunter green. It was like more reminiscent of maybe the Ohio Bobcats. I don't know if I probably told this story before, but I had a lady one time when I was at a tailgate for the radio station come up to me, and she proudly displayed her Marshall sweatshirt, and she's like, look, this is Kelly green. It's not that Ohio green. This is Kelly green. And she was serious. She was mad that Marshall had messed with the color. And so thankfully the Herd went back to, well, the best green possible, the Kelly green. So that's something that I'm sure is an easy fix once you get started. Okay, how do you change out? Like, for example, the chairbacks at Joan C. Edwards Stadium, I would really look at replacing those and making those Kelly green. I would Kelly green those seats. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll tell you something else I would consider, and again, this is just me. You can chime in as well. I would be tempted to chair back the entire stadium. Like, major upgrade, okay. Everybody gets a chair back. And I know that the chair backs are a value proposition. It's sort of like almost a premium. Hey, you get a chair back. You get into this section of the stadium, it's going to cost you a little bit more, you get a chair back. But I would chair back the entire stadium. You might lose a few seats here or there, but I think you can make that up in other spots, especially with maybe private seating, the sky deck, the end zone suites. You can make some of that up. You can make that up if you're looking to improve the fan experience. So I think chairbacking the entire stadium would be something that I would look at, and it would be a nice upgrade for everybody. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. So that's our question today. What upgrades would you like to see happen at Joan C. Edwards Stadium the most? What's the most important thing or couple of things that you would like to see happen at the stadium? And again, our text line one more time. That's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. I mean, obviously bathrooms are going to be the big one, but you let me know. Tell me, is that me just talking, or is that something that is really important to you? Is that something that bothers you, or is that something that, okay, if you want to upgrade, do something else? Let me know. If bathrooms is the biggest issue, I want to know that today. Of course, I agree. The end zone seats, those need to be redone. I didn't like the additions years ago. I understood why you put the first round of seats in, because you didn't get the seat count right. You needed it to be 30,000. You had to have that number. So you had to improve the end zone to get to that number, because when you put the chairbacks in, it threw the count out. So that wasn't considered. And again, you got to pay attention to these things. But since we found out, oh, look, we got the chairbacks in here. Oh, that's thrown the seating off. So the capacity is a little under 30,000. We got to get that up to 30,000. So that's where those initial end zone seats came in. And then, of course, there was that big hope that, wasn't it the Big East? People were thinking, hey, Marshall could get into the Big East. Got to have more seats. And that's going to bring more people in. I think you right-size the stadium, and if you ever get to the point where you're constantly selling out, then you look at expanding even further. But at this point, I would look for ways to improve the experience, and that would be chairbacking. That would be increasing opportunities for more of a suite experience. You charge more for that. That would be the party deck we've talked about. That would be the sky suites in the end zone, all of that. So there's some opportunities there. So that's your challenge today. Texter wrote in just now, said, Paul, I also stopped by and picked up my tickets today, and I did one better. I stopped by the stadium, went in, and found my seat location. They are great seats. I also heard about all the horror stories about the bathroom, so I checked out the men's restroom, and the urinal troughs do need updated. Appreciate that. Thanks for the thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, these are good seats. We got good seats for you. So we've got Ryan Chris coming up a little bit later on the program. We'll get more of your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118. At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
We continue on with this Wednesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. During the break, had a couple people call in. Spoke with Terry. Terry had a pretty good suggestion. He pointed out that he's an older herd fan. And he said there are a lot of elderly people who sit in that chairback section, and it's very difficult to get up and down the steps because there aren't any handrails in that portion of the stadium. And so it's very difficult to come get to your seat or to navigate that without handrails. Also, the fact that after the game there's such a surge of people who are leaving, the handrails would help out a lot of people who maybe just can't get around as well and maybe make it a little easier or at least a little more orderly to get out of the stadium. So handrails it is. I appreciate Terry checking in. And, of course, our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, we need to lower the concession food price like the Atlanta Falcons. I appreciate the text. Thank you. Also from the text line, texter says, Paul, totally agree with you that the bathrooms need upgrades. It's embarrassing when visiting fans come to our stadium and talk about our awful bathrooms. I've had bad knees and ankles, and it's hard to get up and down the stadium steps without a handrail as well, and my seats are in the end zone. These rails are needed bad so elderly and disabled people won't fall. And I can completely agree with you. I concur. That's one thing that really aggravates me because over my years, I've had to take care of folks who are not very mobile and need a little extra help. And so handrails are very helpful. Those are important. However, you can make the stadium as easy to navigate as possible, as accessible to as many people as possible, I think you're all the better for it. So keep those coming in, 304 396-TALK, 304-396-8255. All right, appreciate it. Mike from Barboursville texting in. Yeah, I got it, Mike. Perfect. So Mike from Barboursville wants to lower the concession food prices like the Atlanta Falcons. I'm all for that. Make it as friendly as you possibly can. I would actually have, if I could, and I don't know what the food trucks are charging right now, so I apologize, but I would have as many different options as I possibly could. I mean, honestly, I would want to see the concourse updated, upgraded, expanded as much as possible. I'd have different food options there. I'd make it easier to navigate the concourse. So, one, you can get through. Two, you can get in line and not interfere with anybody and have full service points of sale to get as many people served as possible, as quickly as possible. And that way, they might be willing to spend a little bit more money to come in, go to the game. You know what? I'd like another ice cold Diet Mountain Dew. And so go to the concession line, get you a cold Pepsi if you want, get you a Mountain Dew, and then you can go back to your seat here. And, of course, there's going to be people who are going to be going up and down the stadium selling you things as well. You can have all of that. But I think concourses are going to be a huge thing for me. Bathrooms are a big one. That's probably my number one because you got to take care of your fans. Number two, I would think concourses. But I like this handrail idea. Also from the text line, texter says, Paul, we also need new seat numbers on the seats. Okay, so I think seating maybe. Seating needs to be upgraded. I'm going to throw that in with my idea that, hey, look, figure it out and share back everything. And you got to do it, and you got to be thoughtful about that process because I don't want to displace anyone. That's my first thought. Let's not displace anyone. So let's figure out how to improve and upgrade the quality of seating for everyone at the stadium and not displace anyone because I don't want anyone to feel like, well, I'm not good enough here anymore because Marshall kicked me out of my seat. I'm not advocating that. What I'm saying, though, is let's make that seating experience better for everyone and give fans an opportunity to enjoy the game. I mean, there'll be some people like standing on the bleachers. I get that. But I would share back that I would just make the experience I would make coming to Joan C. Edwards Stadium a fun experience. It's got to be a premium experience. You come in and you go, wow, that's the best stadium in the Sun Belt. Or, hey, that's one of the best football stadiums regardless of size. That's the best stadium I've been to. It's a great experience there. And, of course, you got to have a good product on the field also. But that's a different argument altogether. So what upgrades would you most like to see at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Still to come, Ryan Crisp is joining us. Ryan has the super long title at Marshall University, the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. And we'll go over a lot of the items that are happening this weekend with him as well, as we'll touch on some of this as well. So he definitely loves feedback. So we're going to give him some feedback today for sure. But don't forget, anyone who texts in today with our question of the day, you're going to be entered into our random drawing. We've got a 3-pack of tickets today that we're going to give you on Saturday to go see Marshall take on ULM. This will be the second all-time meeting between these two programs. The first time was in 1987. Actually had a conversation with our news director today, Bill Cornwell. And we were just musing, like, how many people realize that? How many people remember that? How many people were around in 1987 when Marshall first played ULM? And I'm curious, how many fans still remember and how many fans are like, really? Who? UL who? They're in our conference, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking a majority of fans that are going to be at Joan C. Edwards Stadium probably no concept of 1987. None whatsoever. I hadn't even graduated high school yet, 87. I think that might have been, because the way it used to go at least at Huntington High, class of 87, class of 88, class of 89. I'm class of 89. So, I think, I was there. I was like starting at Huntington High. Sophomore. You didn't have freshmen. Yeah. Never freshmen in high school. No, forget that. I felt sorry for those kids at the lower levels. It's like, hey, we're going to be the big kids on campus now. We're going to be the seniors here. No. You just got moved over. You're freshmen now. You don't get to be the senior junior high. No, you automatically pass that and go to freshman in high school now. Welcome to the new rules. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Upgrades you're looking for. What would you like to most see at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? So Marshall and ULM, this will be the second all-time meeting. Last time these two teams met, December 19th, 1987. It was a 43-42 matchup between these two teams. 1987 NCAA Division I AA football championship. And the quarterback, Stan Humphries, 26 passes, 436 yards, and 3 touchdowns. You know who else we probably have forgotten about that game? Henry Richard, 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. A lot of people don't remember him. Stan Humphries is the guy that gets most of the pub that you remember. You go, oh, yeah, Stan Humphries, yeah. Nobody talks about Henry Richard, who had 2 touchdowns in that game as well. Back to our text line. Texter says, Paul, all of these upgrades will be great. Another thing I would still like to see are concerts in the stadium and more local high school games played there when it's not being utilized by the herd. I think so far Ironton and Cabell Midland have shown that it's possible to have a really good experience. I know there are band concerts at Joan C. Edwards Stadium a lot. If you follow 13 meteorologist Spencer Atkins, he posts a lot about the bands. And, of course, we've seen band events at the stadium in the past. So, yeah, there's a lot of avenues of opportunity there. But I think we're looking for not just, hey, what kind of things we like to see happen at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? What kind of upgrades would you like to see at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? And, again, the text line's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're going to talk to Ryan Crisp when we continue. Ryan, the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving Ticket Sales and Fan Engagement, when we continue on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% to help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garden, 304-525-1116. And in Barboursville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
Save big money on your next project. Right now at Menards. Give your home an elegant look with Mastercraft pre-finished hardwood molding. Available in 5 pre-finished colors to save you time. Just cut and install for a simple upgrade to any room. Save big on all Mastercraft molding products. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text question of the day, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This one's been a good one so far. What upgrade would you most like to see at Joan C. Edwards Stadium? We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment, and we'll get more of your text in. But first, and before I read some of the texts as well, after we talk to our good friend Ryan Crisp, Ryan has the best job in the world. Ryan is the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. He now joins us on the program. Good to talk to you again. How you been, brother?
I'm great, Paul. How are you?
I'm well. Good to be back with you on a Wednesday. We got a lot to get into. It's an interesting text question. We got some more texts coming in a minute, so I'll hit you with some of that stuff in a minute. But, of course, we got a football game coming up on Saturday. The Herd taking on ULM. The War Hawks are coming to Huntington. And I don't know about you, Ryan, but I need a little revenge from 1987. I wasn't in Pocatello, Idaho, but I did watch it on TV. And it's burned into my mind. I need some revenge for that one. 1987. You weren't even around then.
I was not. No, I'm 3 years before.
Are you there? Ryan, we lost you. I think we lost Ryan. Let's try to get him back. We're going to take a quick pause so we can get him back. And again, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Let me see if you're there before we go to our quick pause. Ryan, you there? We lost you. Yep, we lost him. Let's get him back. Quick momentary pause. We come back. Ryan Crisp on the other side of this break. Ryan Crisp is back with us. You know what I think happened? Stan Humphries is in town. He's messing with the show.
He was like, I'm going to mess this up somehow. And somehow technology, gets the best of all of us. We don't know what happens.
Yeah, Stan Humphries has hacked the show to make sure that Ryan Crisp does not get to talk. Yeah, you weren't even born yet. 1987, December 19th, ULM beats Marshall 43-42. So I still carry that around with me, and I hope Herd fans on Saturday will as well, even ones that weren't around. But I'm excited. It's going to be fun. We got a little history here. It's a one-time meeting between these two teams, but still a significant part of Marshall history, so we get to carry that on. And it's also Senior Day. So let's start there. Ryan, is the Herd honoring seniors because there's some really positive stories in this day and age in name, image, and likeness. And there are a lot of guys that have gone through the process, have either been feels like lifers with the Thundering Herd or chose to end their careers with Marshall. So we get a chance to honor those guys on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's our second to last home game, so not typical to honor the seniors that game, but with the final game being deemed the 75 game, we felt like it was right with the different pregame festivities we have for that game to honor the seniors for this game. And I mean, it's a big game. We're in line for a championship here, and we got a chance to win some games and possibly stay in the hunt here for a Sun Belt title. So it's a big game for the Herd. It's a big game for ULM as well. If you look at the West Division, they need a win as well. So I know they're going to come in hungry and ready to play. But yeah, it's great to honor. I think 21 seniors is what we're honoring. Plus a few guys that walked last year that graduated from school and decided to come back for their final year. So there's a few more that'll be honored. But, you got guys like Mike Green and J.J. Roberts and a lot of guys that have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this program. And, it's always a special day for them, regardless if it's their last home game or not officially. It's, when you get that moment to run on the field and hug Coach Huff there and then see your family on the field. It's a big moment for them and a big day for us. And, obviously, yes, Senior Day is a little different than what it was maybe 5-10 years ago. But there's still guys that devoted, a lot of time into this program. And whether a guy was here for 4 or 5 years or whether they were here for 6 months, the amount of work that went into this season and honoring them in the right way. A lot of these guys may have even, obtained a degree from a different university and are working on a second degree or a graduate degree from us. So it's important just to honor them as well in the same light that we do these guys that have been with us for 4 or 5 years. So we're excited. It obviously changes the pregame timing a little bit. So once again, I encourage fans to get into the game early. I think that sweet spot is anywhere from 60 minutes to 45 minutes prior to kick. If you come to our gates at that point, there will not be a line, and you'll get in a matter of minutes into the venue. And so that's kind of the sweet spot for entering. And if you do that, you'll be able to participate in the pregame trivia that's been a hit so far this year, as well as be in there for the Senior Day festivities. Yeah, I concur with that. I got to the basketball arena. I usually am there a couple hours early, but I got there with everybody else and got there real quick. So the process is really going along quite nicely to get in, even have them check my bags, so no problem there. So yeah, that sweet spot, about 60 minutes, that really works out for everyone. And something else to keep in mind, I think, for Senior Day as well, the reason we're doing this early is because the next game is going to be the 75 game, so it gives the seniors an opportunity to have their moment, and then the next game you kind of keep that, as the event that it is, or I don't even think event's the right word. Just keep that game special, that 75 game. For sure, it's a story that no one else could tell in the world of college football and the world of sports in general, really. And so it's very, very special to us, very special to this community and this town, obviously. And so we want to make sure it's honored the right way, and have as much time as possible to honor those families and those victims, and also the rebirth of Marshall football and how far that program has come. And really, a short time frame. Ryan Crisp is with us. He is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. So we've got a big game on Saturday. Great opponent, ULM, coming in. Should be a fun game. Weather should be pretty nice. No complaints here. I think we're going to have a gorgeous day. We're going to have a great time for football. But then we got to get into that basketball mode. We had I don't want to call it a practice run, fans first, but that was sort of like my dry run as well to get ready for basketball season. We got to see the men and the women on Sunday, and now we're going to do it for real. And you got some times, and you've got some promotional events that have been announced that are really going to hopefully make that experience even better for fans this year. Yeah, for sure. No, first off, thanks to all the fans that came out this past Sunday. We had over 1,700 tickets claimed between the two games, and that doesn't include season tickets. So the turnout was really, really strong. The people that came are people that maybe we haven't seen in our venues before, which is great. That's the whole goal of those fans' first games, is to get them on our venue and create a fan. And, as I sat down at the end of the final game, at the end of the women's game there, and watched fans leave, every fan that was leaving with their kids were leaving with handfuls of giveaways, from glow sticks to posters to roster cards, everything they had. I saw a couple families that bought autographable basketballs from the bookstore there on site and were walking away with basketballs filled with team autographs. So it was really great to see those fans have a good time and really hopefully take away some memories that will last a lifetime, and hopefully they beg their mom and dad to bring them back to the game. So no, it was really good on Sunday, and moving forward, there's a lot of great promotions out there. With the no reentry policy, we've made a commitment to upgrade our half times, and so every halftime there will be something. This past Sunday, even at a free event, we had the Performance Dogs of Ohio out there for both games and gave a little show at halftime with some Frisbees and the dogs, which is great to see and incredible, and a lot of positive feedback on that. But other highlights are definitely the Education Day for women's basketball, where we have, thousands of local elementary and middle schoolers coming to the women's basketball game, one of the best games of the year. We also have Greek night for both, which is obviously a good one for our students, and the involvement is very high. The engagement's very high there. Whiteouts, greenouts, blackouts. We have a new uniform reveal coming for the January 2nd men's game, where if you saw on social media, they got a new gray uniform, so they're going to wear that one for that year or for that game. So just a lot of cool promotions. Probably my favorite one out of the bunch, just because of the impact it has on our local community, is our holiday games. For the holiday games, there's a teddy bear toss at halftime. So if you come to the game, bring a teddy bear. At halftime, you get to throw that teddy bear on the court, and all those teddy bears that we collect are donated to Hoops Family Children's Hospital, and they give those out to their patients that unfortunately aren't able to be at their home for Christmas Day. So it's a very cool and special moment, and it's a great way to give back to the community.
Brian Crisp is with us. He is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. I do concur. The dog show was fun on Sunday. I felt like the dogs were the more talented of the performers on the floor, so that was absolutely a stellar event. When you look at some of these promotions, you mentioned the jersey reveal as well. That's going to be special, I think, for a lot of fans. What's the future plans for maybe fans to maybe get that jersey? They see those new jerseys, they want one. What are the upcoming plans for maybe selling those, or maybe having those at the game for fans who maybe want to sport some of those new jerseys, those new colors? I think the grays look great. I'm just going to be on that bandwagon with you right now, Ryan.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great alternative jersey for us, and we'll always work with our local retailers and those merchants to be able to hopefully provide as much as possible. And so we have given them the specs, and hopefully they can come through and have those in stores, and especially with Follett in our venue would be great. Christmas present maybe as a new jersey, and be one of the first people to own that gray jersey. So we'll continue to work with our retailers and our merchants to hopefully get that in stores.
You mentioned the teddy bears. That's one of your favorite promotions, obviously. A couple other promotions that may be pretty special to you. I know you like them all, but if you had to tell me, okay, other than the teddy bear throw, these are the ones that I'm really the most excited about, what would you say those would be?
Yeah, I think the ones that mean something more than just the Marshall Athletics or the game of basketball. So obviously the teddy bear toss does that. Both teams play right around Veterans Day this year, so women play on November 10th, and the men play on November 11th. So those are going to be obviously We Are Thankful games, and we're inviting some veterans to the game to do some special things. We'll have the big flag. We'll have the ROTC team repel the game ball down from the rafters. So just a lot of special things we can do there, and special moments that we can create, especially for those veterans that served our country and made the ultimate sacrifice. So it's a great thing for us, and I really like those that connect more than just us. It's a bigger picture. And then, I mentioned already, but I love the Greek nights. I think it's a great way to get our students involved, to get them at our games. Our fans' first mentality is we want to create fans at 10, 11, 12 years old, because when they grow up, then they're going to be a Marshall fan. And involving our students and getting as much participation from them is a great way to turn them into season ticket holders and Big Green members after they graduate, because that's the moments they live. That's what they remember. And I know a lot of our fan base, is fans and supports us at a high level because of those memories they have as students, whether it was when the football team was the winningest team in the 90s and maybe you're a student during that time, or even as recently as John Elmore and Conference USA basketball championships. There's a lot of people that support us and remember those days, and that's why they support us. And so it's important to involve them, not only for the current moment and to provide them with a great experience, but then also for our future benefits with what that can do for us.
Ryan Crisp is with us again. He's got the best title of anyone at Marshall University. He is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. Now, fan engagement is a big part of your title. I know that from personal experience. We had an interesting text question of the day, and we're going to throw that back out to our listeners now. It's 304-396-TALK, and we're going to give you a chance to win 3 tickets to go see the game on Saturday. And they're pretty sweet tickets. I've had some reports back from folks, Ryan. We're hooking them up with really good tickets just to encourage folks. What upgrades would fans like to see most at the Joan? And Ryan, I know as someone who fields these questions at times, we've got some interesting comments. You got a moment for a few of them?
Yeah, for sure. Let's hear them.
Okay. I'm going to just go with the fresh text that just came in, and there's a theme you're going to detect here. Texter says the restrooms need to be completely renovated. Physical facilities at the stadium, although the concourses are bigger, they need to be expanded for more food, drink options. Bathrooms need updated. Let's see, bathrooms, that's coming up a lot. Signage, improve the signage, renumber the seats. Those would be something. Rails, some ways to maybe help some of the older fans as well. Concession prices, those are some of the things, but physical updates are pretty much what a lot of people are talking about, and the bathrooms seem to be the number one thing. And I've even suggested maybe in the future an upgrade I'd like to see, Ryan, is maybe you chair back all the seats at the stadium in some capacity, improve that experience even more for fans, and make it kind of, make sure that Joan C. Edwards is the best stadium in the Sun Belt and beyond. So I'm sure you get a lot of feedback as well, maybe similar to what I hear.
No, we do. I like a lot of those. Keep them coming to Paul, and Paul will obviously get those to me. I think the bathrooms are obviously one that a lot of people point to, and that's a major renovation, a major project in the millions of dollars range. So that's one that we'll continue to look at, and hopefully we can tackle it here in the next few years, if not sooner. So I think that's one that's going to be on the priority list for us. Another one that you said that I think is something we'll look at is chairbacking the entire stadium in a way to make the seats more comfortable. I think that's one that we can look at and see whether it's tied to season tickets, and maybe that's part of your package as you get the chairback seat added to your seat, whatever it may be. But I think there's a way for us to make the seat more comfortable and make the stadium look a little better as well when it's not a bunch of metal bleachers everywhere. So I think those are 2 good ones. The food options, the point-of-sale systems, those are ones that, we upgraded a little bit this year with the addition of the food trucks and the expanded concourse area. This was really, I say it on here a lot, we experiment a lot. And so this year was truly an experiment for us, and we learned things that worked and we learned things that didn't work. And we learned some restrictions that we have with different codes and fire marshal and capacity and gates and all that kind of stuff. So we'll continue to evolve that and work on that. With our third-party partner Sodexo, with the concession vendor. So all great stuff, all things I think that we'll be looking to do, and the more feedback that our fans can provide, the better in terms of decision-making and which direction we go when we do have the ability to do a project like that.
Ryan Crisp is with us, and again, part of his job description is dealing with fan engagement, and that means anytime you have a suggestion, you can reach out to him. I've got some other ones that came in. Obviously, we've heard about the party deck, the end zone suites. I think some folks are excited about that, so that would probably be on the list if it isn't already. And I think signage, a few people have said they would like to see the dark green lettering and helmet off the press box and change the coloring. Just make sure that Kelly green is the only green in the stadium. And I'm sure that's, relatively speaking, of course, I'm sure that is something that's easier to tackle than sinking millions of dollars into a capital expenditure. Yeah, I know you want to do it right, and so when you do it right, it's going to be the perfect time, right? I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
For sure. No, yeah, we will tackle the ones we can tackle that financially make sense for us in the current moment. We've had the lettering on the press box and the helmet bidded out a couple times, and unfortunately it just hasn't come back at the right number yet because of the scaffolding and the safety that has to go in to get somebody up there to either remove and replace or just paint over. But we'll keep working on that one because that's definitely one that every time I look in there, I know it's an eyesore. And so hopefully we can get that one tackled for sure in the next little bit because the amount of greens that are in our stadium is a lot. And so we would like to find a way to reduce the number of greens and get it all to one.
Yeah, and I'm sure those seats as well, if you upgrade and replace those seats, that'd be Kelly green as well. And I think that'd be a great idea. The seating for me would probably be the one that, if there was a way, you want to have sort of tiers of seating. So the big green zone, whatever you want to call it, you have one tier of green seating, and then you could spread that out a little bit. I mean, the point would be to make sure the seating's comfortable for everybody. But, man, those cup holders and those cushions, those feel really nice when you're sitting in club level at certain stadiums, Ryan. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, for sure. If you look around the country, most every college athletic venue is reducing capacity and adding premium areas. So whether that's upgrading their current seating arrangements or taking away seats and making it more of a standing area for private parties, whatever it may be, everywhere you look, even at the biggest schools, including Ohio State, they're reducing capacity and adding premium areas. And so we'll continue to look to do that. We did that Christian's first year here, so 2 years ago we did that. We added some four tops seats, which are just like high top tables with some high bar stools right outside the working press area there. We added those, and we added a couple suites as well. One in the Shuey building and one in the current press box arrangement, and those sold immediately, and they're on long-term contracts and all that good stuff. So that's another area that we'll look at to continue to improve the current seating arrangements, as well as provide more premium space for fans to, whether you own a business and you want to host clients or whether you just want an upgrade experience, you'll have the option to do that.
Ryan Crisp with us. He is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. Ryan, always thanks for doing it. We'll see you at the Joan on Saturday. Looking forward to it.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it. Go Herd.
Ryan Crisp, everyone. Quick timeout. We'll get more of your texts coming up. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road. Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Here's another Kinder Communications Community Chatter. 16 Candles, a 1980s themed prom event featuring a live DJ, dancing, silent auction, and more, benefiting the dressing room at the neighborhood in Ashland. Coming up November 16th, 2024 at the Winchester. For information, contact the neighborhood at 606-327-5677. This Kinder Communications Community Chatter brought to you by K&B Pest Control. K&B Pest Control, they'll kill for your business.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
All right, let's go through these texts quickly. 304-396-TALK. Texter says, Paul, replace that god-awful pregame rap music with Herd highlight video. I like Herd highlights. I don't know if the music's going away, though. We got a younger generation. They like their songs. Texter says, Paul, those restrooms are dingy and rusted. All right, keep those coming. We'll keep this topic going. Quick news today, Chris Davis is taking over as athletic director at Georgia Southern. There's a Marshall connection to that. He is a former account executive with the Thundering Herd ISP Sports Network. He was with the network from 2008 to 2009. So congratulations to him. Always a Marshall connection if we can find it. So I think that we've all settled that the bathrooms need to be upgraded. I think seating is probably a priority as well. Also, I would think signage, things like that. These are all important things. Keep those ideas coming. All right, we're going to pick one of you to win our tickets. Stay on your phones. If you don't see a text from me, sorry, you didn't win. But stay on your phone. We'll get you the lucky winner. The information you need here in just a minute. Thanks to my guest, Ryan Crisp. Ryan is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. Always appreciate him coming on the program. He's definitely a good guy that is willing to talk to any fan. That's going to do it for this edition. Don't forget, if you missed any part of the day's show, you can always go back later, catch it on our podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And if you just subscribe or like the podcast, it'll come right to you when it's ready. You don't have to go looking for it. It'll come find you. Have a great night, everyone. Back with you tomorrow.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.